is Fredric Snitzer Gallery. Really excited today to welcome you to the opening of an exhibition of contemporary prints. So this exhibition are prints from the LeRoy Neiman Studies Center at Columbia University. So these are all prints that were published and executed at Columbia University. And they're done by a group of really exceptional artists over a number of years. I'd like to talk to you a little bit first about prints in general. So our gallery has had a long history with prints. We opened in 1977, and early on, for the first maybe 10 years, I sold a lot of contemporary prints, works by Frank Stella, Roy Lichtenstein, a number of other artists, all published editions. And so I'd like to talk a little bit about the nature of prints, the nature of editions, and also a little bit of the history. So prints go back a long, long way. Rembrandt, Dürer made prints. A print is a multiple original. So the implication there is that each one in the edition is of equal value and in essence is original. So there are a variety of different techniques, opportunities for the artist to produce a print. One of the things that I think is very important about prints that distinguishes it from any other part of an artist's practice is the fact that it is very, very, very responsive and engaged with the process. So there are thousands and thousands of opportunities for an artist to work in layers, different materials, different photographic possibilities, color, black and white, a variety of different things that give the artist an opportunity over time to execute prints. So this is quite different, and also the idea that these are multiple originals. So as artists get more expensive, suddenly an opportunity for the collector to own work that is considered important and original by the artist, but because there are a number of them, maybe 5, maybe 2, maybe 50, the financial opportunity is there. So it's a chance for somebody to own something and have access to something that they may not ordinarily have had access to. So there are a couple of misnomers about prints. So contemporary prints in the old days, when Rembrandt produced a print, he would work on a plate, and that plate would wear out. So the idea that the first strike, the first thing that he took off the plate, the first image, was somehow or other fresher, better, more what he was after than the 100th, was true with Rembrandt, and also true in terms of value with Rembrandt etchings. It is not true with contemporary prints. The technology is such that the first strike and the 50th or the 100th is exactly the same. The technology is such that it can do that. So if you want to own number 1 of 10 or number 10 of 10, it really makes no difference whatsoever. In fact, most of the time they're not numbered in order. So the first print that's produced isn't necessarily number 1 in the edition. The other thing is the whole idea of editions is a way to, again, make it more accessible to a collector and expand the artist's sort of horizons in terms of who can own the work. Another thing that I'd like to talk about, and it's kind of a unique way that we have this exhibition set up. In the past, we'd have an opening and there'd be paintings on the wall, so on and so forth. Because of this pandemic, a really remarkable and kind of wonderful thing has happened. So you would ordinarily come to an opening, there'd be a lot of people there, you maybe don't even get a chance to look at the work. It's a much more social sort of an event. Because of social distancing and because of our limitations in terms of who can come into the gallery, this exhibition, you have to schedule an appointment, schedule a time that you want to see the work. We're limited to 2 or 3 people at a time. And the good thing about that is that you can commune with the work. Rather than being distracted by a variety of other things, you have an opportunity to come to the gallery and have a very, very intimate experience with art, with an artwork, which is sort of what it was all about way back when anyway. So perhaps over the years between art fairs and openings and a variety of other things, some of that's been lost. So I think the opportunity to come here and actually experience the work firsthand in an intimate setting, and in particular with prints, where these prints are all on tables, they're all well protected, you won't be able to handle them, but you will get as fresh a sense of the material and the artwork as you can possibly have. We have quite a number of prints, and we will have people here to help you and sort of walk you through it. So in many, many ways, I'm very excited about this exhibition. If you go to our website, there's a list of what artists are in the exhibition, as well as a checklist of the images. So it's snitzer.com, and you can check that out. But these are all major artists, and many of which have been produced in the last 10 years. I'll also tell you a little funny story about the LeRoy Neiman Center for Print Studies and Thomas Vu, who is the director and began that program. So Thomas Vu is a professor and an artist and a printmaker, and he runs this program at Columbia University. So LeRoy Neiman, if you're not familiar, was an artist who primarily did essentially like an illustrator. He did a lot of Olympics, he did a lot of rock stars and sports heroes, and it was very much commercial pursuits. He produced silk screens that were very large editions, very colorful, and he made a lot of money. Big editions of 200 or 300, it certainly was the commercial end of the print world. However, he was smart enough and generous enough to endow this program at Columbia University for print studies, with the intention of saying, well, I made all this money in the commercial pursuit of my work, but I'm willing to support investigation and a much, much, much less commercial side of printmaking. So I think that's a very interesting part of this whole program, and again, something that I hope you can come and experience. Just call us up and make an appointment, schedule a time, and check this exhibition out. We will be doing more of these little talks, and I'll be talking more about specific artists. But again, you can go on the website, snitzer.com, and there's a link that will take you to the checklist and the images of all the work. Thanks, I hope you